That's awesome. That's good. That's confirmation coming at you. Already, the most progress in this entire Return of the Obra Dinn play series. And I don't think I can congratulate myself for it. Hello and welcome back to Return of the Obra Dinn, the mystery that we're severely struggling to solve because, you know, I did have a bit of a walk around in this game just to sort of try and glean information from the environment and, put some names to some people, or faces rather. Look at this, last played, 4 minutes ago. That was when I finished my little walk around. But I've played nearly 6 hours of this game, and no fate solved. Inexcusable from a lifelong gamer. So I've got a list of areas I want to revisit. So come with me on this journey of revisitation. And let's just make this look a little bit better. So, now the first one I wanted to go back to the beginning. That's right. I wanted to go back to the beginning because I've definitely missed some detail. And I think I have finally discovered who the captain is. And really, this is information I got on day 1. So, yeah, I did warn ya. Not the most observant. This dude is the captain because they said captain. Let's play the very first encounter where this dude got shot. Who I know who this is as well. I realized
Open the door!
it plays through the scene.
Let's we break it down and take more than those shells! You bastards may take exactly what I give you!
Which is the gun. But did you hear what they said at the very beginning? Frickin' captain! Open the door. Oh my gosh. I feel really stupid. Alright, so this dude, not such a bad guy after all, unless he was a bad captain, but he's the captain. So I christen thee, from unknown soul to captain, Robert ViDWHAL, and I'll tell you why and how I worked this out, other than him being addressed as captain. Yeah. Yes, her. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Oh, that's how our success meter, is it? I see. I wondered what this page was actually for, and now we do. That's awesome. That's good. That's confirmation coming at you. Already, the most progress in this entire Return of the Obra Dinn play series. And I don't think I can congratulate myself for it. Well, taking the time to walk through and just pay attention to, the conversations and stuff certainly helped. So, blessings to me and my brain. Yeah, so I looking at Abigail's name, and from her conversation, or his conversation with dead her at this stage of the game story, the captain shot himself.
Your brother, my friend, I shot him.
So,
Dead.
this guy is Abigail's brother.
Please forgive me.
You've had your moment, Captain. So, being Abigail's brother, it stands to say Abigail's name being. The frick is her name? Oh, I see. Oh, she's been removed because she's been solved. But Abigail, anyway, her name was Hoskett. Abigail Hoskett ViDWHAL, being married to the captain. Hoskett being the brother. William Hoskett, first mate. Okay, and I've had some other thoughts about who I thought was the captain in previous playthroughs. is one of the mates, not the first mate, because that was Abigail's bro. Now, he was shot by the frickin' captain, Robert Whittrell. So, I guess we solved this guy now.
For everything.
Thank you, Captain. Now, that crosses off Abigail's bro and the captain. And that also means, by extension, these other deaths can also be fully solved. And this bloke, I believe, is Brennan? Oh yeah, that's the dude choking on his blood. Choke away. Henry Brennan was clubbed by El Capitano. So we solve him. And we'll do this dude as well, since he's conveniently dying in the same scene. Alright. The captain was an impressive warrior in his final moments. Now, did we get... We completely... Yeah, we did solve Abigail. Just saw that in the last playthrough. Henry Brennan. And now in the other part, where I looked at the cow's head, there's some details in there I'd like to correct. Where they had the cold or the illness. I think we go down lower. Oh yeah, the old cannon crushings from the Kraken. Fun times. Oh, and the old crabby stabbies. But this dude, I believe his name was Saeed. And I did find out another great tidbit. These numbers are very relevant. Very relevant. So relevant, they can lead you straight to the name. I mean, they did say his name, Sayed, but once I knew that he was number 54, and I went to pick him from the list. Solomon Sayed, number 54. So I think I can use that to identify other people. Like this other dude that wasn't feeling too crash up from this illness. Yeah. Oh, it was very handy doing my walkthrough by myself, because a lot of these faces was just starting to match up. So his fate was also illness, because he was in the doctor's bed in the next sequence. But his soul name is on his, what do you call it? Hammock, number 51. Oh, 51. Renfred Rajab, seaman from India. Succumbed to a tragic illness. Well, at least we know your name for the insurance records. Now, yeah, so these guys, definitely not Sayed. Now, one of them did show up in the calling. Well, I think they got stabbed or spiked by the very, very pretty looking merman. But see, they got all these other numbers here. So obviously this guy is number 37 on the manifest, but I can't select him here. I haven't seen any character in the sketches that has that on his arm that I can correlate it to. So it's not always going to help, these numbers. And I assume they're all just sleeping and not dead. Righty, who's next? Oh yes. Then there was the cook that was killed by that swinging merman tail. This way, I think. Yes. This dude. Yeah, the merman tail.
What's your foot in?
Listen to what he says.
Give him tea and I can rise a solid meal, boys.
No. Take it.
And who does the cooking on the ship?
What's it?
Well, it must be
Pretty shelly, eh?
certainly not the captain.
No. Get
So, this dude, I am going to instate him as Thomas Sefton, the cook. Ooh. Yep, cool. Old Renfred. And Tom Sefton. Fantastic. Feels fantastic bringing closure to these individuals. All things considered, their families would like to know what kind of shit they went through. That's for sure. Or maybe they wouldn't. Maybe sparing the details is only best. That's about it. As far as on my list now, there's other people to identify as well. Now I'm wondering. Oh. Who are you? Just make it a getaway. Oh. He was in the calling. That's the other place we got to get to. I got to go check out that sequence because now I'm all of a sudden curious who this guy is. Probably just a random seaman, but it's just interesting. He's the only one with common sense getting away from this situation. Oh, there's something else going on. Right. They're up here. Oh, and that's got to be the shell. I'm convinced. That is the shell. And I betcha, I just have a feeling that's where we're going to end up at the end of the game. That's my prediction. Yeah, I think I got a few of these names wrong. Yeah, so this is the end.
Wait! Don't shoot! I have treasure! I yield!
Hold your fire!
Well, I can see why he's shot now. Because we will progress back through these. Who is this? That might be Nichols, actually. But I need to confirm that by going backwards. It's Bang. Yes. Oh, and he was the only... yeah. One merman? I thought they dragged in... Oh, two. There we go. 2, 3. Alright. Okay. I think it does this weird noise because it's gone backwards in the sequence. Right. So I have gained a better understanding. This chest, I believe, was actually taken from the ship, like it was already on the ship, and they've stolen it and made a break from the ship. So the Obra Dinn is definitely the big-ass ship. And I bet you they knew, or this Formosa family knew the powers of this chest, or they must have brought it on board potentially. Hence why their guard with the spear was guarding the room, I reckon, because that is the passenger storage area. So that makes sense why this would blast the mermen quite effectively by the looks. Need to get that shell though. Wonder how we get that. Anywho, I am needing to go to the next part. Yeah, so that chest, obviously a weapon of some sort, takes care of the mermen. But it's these dudes that I think we've misidentified. And ooh. Yes, that makes sense. This is Nichols. Because he obviously survived, got shot by this dude's guard, because this dude was a captive. Which I am going to now demonstrate. Yeah, it was obviously in the last playthroughs, but I didn't pick up on it, or see it, or walk past it. One of those reasons.
Keep rowing!
It's Bang!
Where is
He was bound up. Because he looked very weird the way he was sitting when this dude got stabbed in the previous sequence. So, he was a prisoner. I wonder why though. Because there is an undiscovered chapter before this chapter titled Murder, I think. So, did he kill someone in the previous chapter? That's what I wonder.
I shut it off.
This is strange things about monsters.
Yep. So, he was bound. Just couldn't see it well from this angle, and just did not pay attention. Pay attention to it in the one after. Anyway, so let's get some of these names right. This is obviously the commander, and so he's not going to be anyone other than Nichols. Oh, yes, he was shot by Formosa. Not in Beng. Not Miss Lim. It's one of these two. I still don't know that one actually yet, so Nichols will have to wait. These guys, I think this is O'Hagan. He was speared, and actually we should really say was speared by a beast. This dude, same deal I think. I don't quite know his name. But if the other guy is O'Hagan, is it likely he could just simply be Alexander or George? You know, maybe these guys, by being on the manifest next to each other, are by association the guys that hung around each other. So there's nowhere else to progress in this other than exiting through the door. So that should mark off a few extra on the book, I hope. Maybe not. Now, I do wonder how to uncover the third chapter. Moira.
How do I unlock Moira?
I mean, what happened before it was a cow was slaughtered. Ooh, yes, that's right. I've got to go back to the cowhead. It's below the gun deck, onto the orlop. Right, these guys. Listen to what he says. This guy's Charlie, by the way they reference this guy. Vomiting. Ooh. Don't think he's Charles Minor, because Charles Minor was the tattooed bloke that got his body ripped in half. Could be Charles Hirschdick, midshipman. Maybe. I have to look up what a midshipman is. Oh, and the bosun. Yeah, the dude that got his arm ripped off, I guess, by the Kraken.
Don't her brain. Come on before she kicks up.
Alright, so this dude did the cutting, and I think he's the butcher. Yeah. Oh, and he got spiked up against the wall by the crabby stabbies. Okay. Emil O'Farrell from Ireland. He had an accent, so I think we solved him.
Never been on a farm, John?
Mind your shoes now.
Yeah. I mean, the only death is actually the cow in this sequence. Really. There's no actual human corpses in this scene. Oh, so the cook was there. Well, makes sense that the butcher and the cook would hang out, you know, food, meat. And yeah, while that's happening, really the most interesting aspect was the dead body being, well, potentially dead body being moved. Oh, and the surgeon's assistant. Nice monkey. Oh, I didn't mean to click on him. Yeah, we already identified this dude, right? Renfrob. Confirmed death. Now this dude, who I thought was the captain, considering that's a captain, and he's standing right behind him, he's the first mate. I would say he's almost certainly going to be the second mate. Maybe he's... Ed Nichols' second mate. That was the first dude I thought was a captain, potentially. That leaves this dude being potentially the last of the mates. Oh, so it could be third, fourth mate, potentially. John Davies. Martin Perrott. Ugh, don't think I can answer that one just yet. I need to find the other mate, wherever he might be. Maybe he's in the undiscovered chapter.
What are his chances?
Oh yeah. You shot Nichols. Yeah, they had their own plan, I reckon. They were just conveniently waiting for the ship to be distracted. Oh, maybe they started the sickness to distract the ship so they could get off. Because they think these guys are central to be, they're central to the shell. That's what I mean. That's my take. So how do I discover that third chapter? Is it like maybe something that's been opened and I haven't realized? Just gonna have to walk around, I reckon, for a little while. Ooh. This looks different. Some sort of armory, guns, and swords. Can't open anything else in here. I don't see any signs of corpuses. Is it worth having a look behind there? That's just the side of the ship, really. Oh, there was someone, actually I remembered. I forgot to write down on my piece of paper. The actual artist of the sketches in this book. Down here, there's an ES, and that is a person. And through discovery of looking at, where he perished, I can solve this guy. ES. And since he drew the sketch, stands to say maybe he's Edward Spratt, the artist. Now, what killed him? It was a frickin'... Oh, dagnammit. That's Edward Spratt's last resting place. Yeah, he was the one crushed by the Kraken. But we all enjoy your drawings. That's what will live on in your memory. The depiction of someone getting shot at sea. Now, crushed, most likely, but let's just see if there's anything else. Strangled? I think he got... Ugh. Maybe he did get strangled. Oh yeah. Cool. Got the butcher, fantastic. But he was spiked. Oh. Patrick O'Hagan. And Edward Spratt. Alrighty. More dashes. Looking semi-satisfying at this stage. Alright. Paul Moss, killed with a sword. Maybe we can name his killer. Oh. Paul, look out. Well, this dude was Paul. Oh, the X depicts who's actually dying, which is him. So he is saying that. Paul. Last one, move quick. Oh, you'll not take the last boat. That's him saying it. She, the woman observing, says for him to look out. Oh, does he say damn as he gets stabbed? It's up the top over here. So he got blasted in the chest by the woman with the rifle, and he stabbed him before that. Yeah. Yeah, so it is definitely that guy. But killed by who? An unknown guy. Who is this guy? Oh, he's still unknown. Perished in the escape. Oh, of course, because he got shot through the chest. Oh. The surgeon? Yeah. Oh, Henry Evans. Oh. Did I just answer my own question? Henry Evans. Henry Evans, the doctor, wrote this. I mean, why is Henry Evans getting someone else to uncover this information? I mean, is he trying to repress it on some level? The dude was there, if this is the same Henry Evans. Interesting. Who is that person? Oh. And who are you? It's going to be hard to solve with 3 triangles. Right. So here's one that disappeared. Maybe he got off the boat. Yeah, maybe he got off the boat. Oh. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, it's probably better than the ship. Yes, one of the female passengers. Well, we're yet to discover who this dude is. The El Capitano. Yes. Rob Whitwell, doing what he does best. Shooting guns. First mate. Oh. I'm yet to work out if this dude's good or bad. Yeah, I think it was bad because he was killed by the captain. Oh, that's right. This dude was struck by lightning. So here's another one that I can identify. Yes. This poor sucker. We know his fate. Well and truly electrocuted. I do wonder what his name is, though. He does look of Asian descent, so he would be just crew going up the rigging, so a top man. A top man, the guys that go up top, the rigging. China. I see, there's 4 Chinese men. Seamen. And no one of Asian descent. It's got to be one of these 4. Ah, wow, and you can actually see the crabs coming up from the side just there. That's so freaking creepy. Oh, there's the other one. And there's only 2. Because there's... I'm not sure if 2 or 3 attacked the ship. Because there's one down the bottom in the cargo storage. Oh, and there's one dead one sprawled on the floor. So 2, I guess. That looks so cool. That's just freaky as. And that dude right there, wanting to do his best to get away. I'm sure he died. Now, I see. Charles Minor, the bosun's mate. I could be well and truly wrong about... I mean, what is the bosun? The bosun. Foreman in charge of general crew operations and the equipment required to sail the ship. Well, that should include the rigging, you'd think, the sails. But that would also include things like the steering and the rudder, right? Well, it kind of makes sense why he'd be up. Topman. Higher rated seaman specializing in work above the deck in the sails and rigging. Explained. Right. Topman for sure. So these guys, they were playing the game around that table when Syed was carking it. So they're topmen. Big and strong top men. Top blokes. Now we have... Now we know who Henry Brennan. Henry Brennan. He's not a seaman. He's not Henry Brennan. He can't be if he's up on the rigging. He's got to be a topman. Brennan. We named Henry Brennan in the sequence where some bloke got knifed in what appeared to be some sort of mutiny. Where the guy got his head blown off in that sequence. Oh, maybe we should revisit that. Okay, he's a topman. Oh, he was stupidly climbing where he was not meant to be going. That actually does make sense. Because I will show you something. Because Henry Brennan, who we think is Henry Brennan, died here. But I think if we look at one of these earlier ones, I think he's like making his way down the back.
Must be in here someplace.
This dude, look, knife in his mouth. This guy's got some skills as a topman. I don't think he's a seaman at all. And what about the bosun? Alfred Kleestill, the bosun from Austria. I thought this was a dude that got his arm ripped off. Let's go check out his sequence. This fine gentleman.
Put me down. Let go.
Easy now. We're in a bad way.
Is this squid? Where is my Frenchman?
The squid's gone. Your mate was torn apart.
No, that. The beast is dead. How? How did you kill it?
We didn't. It left with the storm. Captain came up from the hold. Said he chased it off. You should rest.
Curse is that. Does that live for nothing?
Yeah, so this guy, I think, is the bosun. Because his accent is Austrian. It sounded Austrian. Torn apart by a terrible beast. Hey, hopefully the game will confirm it. And when he said the Frenchman, which I thought was Charles Minor, the tattooed bloke, I mustn't have solved it. Or I think you have to solve, I don't know if you have to solve individuals or whole parts of the story. Hang on. That couldn't have been because of the Kraken. That's way too late in this. This is chapter 9. Kraken was way back in 7, wasn't it? The Doom, 5, 6, 7. Then there's a bargain, which we haven't seen yet. That's the one that's locked away. And then the escape, which is actually where... Oh, I'm getting a little bit more context now. Okay. These deaths. Oh, they happened right before the end, with the captain killing the 3 other guys. I don't think we've got their names right, but definitely by Captain ViDWHAL. Henry Evans. He was in that boat, so did he end up alive in one of these places? Oh, I think this one is something I need to revisit as well. The first part of the Doom.
Let me on. Over my dead body, you bloody Dane. Huh?
How's that?
There's no cause for trouble, boys. Get in the boat.
Thought I'd forget. You killed my brother. What? That was an accident. The ropes.
It wasn't his fault. I saw the whole thing.
Nice. I shouldn't have waited so long.
No, don't.
Now this guy's the Dane. Oh, I just can't remember where he's just died right now, but he showed up all the way in page 8. Okay, this is where he shows up. So he's been there the whole time. Involved fighting the mermen and the crabby stabbies. But he didn't go lower than that. Oh, he was down the bottom. The loose cargo. Well, how do they die? Pretty much got bashed. Clubbed. By who? Depends on who this dude is. He has a brother. Or a mate that he considered a brother. Ah. The ropes. He said the ropes. The falling cargo, the ropes were either snapped or they weren't secured properly, so he's blaming that Dane for the cargo crushing this dude. And he's depicted, so it's not like he was not intended to be on the manifest. Well, I don't know. I don't know why he's actually in the image, other than the game having to show his face. But if they were brothers or mates, then that makes sense. In his sequence, that Danish dude must show up. If they are literal brothers, they're obviously going to have a similar surname. Okay. Let's just at least try and pick him out. Because if he's Danish, that means he would be from Denmark, right? And he's a seaman, most likely involved with cargo, lowering cargo. Yeah, he is definitely the only person from Denmark on this list. Yep. Lars Lunde was clubbed by someone's brother. I am going to watch that one where the cargo crushing happened, just to confirm he was there. This dude, right? So I expect the Danish dude to be present amongst the death. There we go. How can that be his fault when it's being lowered from all the way up there and you can just see it being snapped? Unless the dude blamed him for not making sure the equipment was kept in good order. I mean, is that the dude watching? I mean, why was his brother or mate in a barrel in the first place? And on a side note, I bet you this dude is guarding that chest in that room. That doesn't look very safe, my friend. Oh, is that Renfried? It is. Back in healthier times. And Sayed. Maybe they caught something at this stage. Oh, maybe he passed on a bug. You know, part of the distraction that we were talking about before. Disappeared in the calling. Ah, he was on the boat. Now, when I say they got disappeared, now, I think they got pulled over by those mermen. So I'm gonna say they're either drowned. Could have been clawed as they were dragged in. Knifed, poisoned, spiked. I'm going to say drowned. By a terrible beast. And he was one of the guys playing the cards at the table, as he is depicted in that photos, in that sketch as well. This guy... we're going to have to go back into this one, I think. Yes, we're going to have to do it. That's what I mean, this game just sends you everywhere. Okay. Let's see if we can ascertain whether that dude disappeared by drowning or something else.
Wait! Don't shoot! I have
That's
treasure.
Nichols, so we know what happened to him. Just going to step through these.
You're still breathing?
Here.
On your own? Nichols, sir, shoot them first.
Ah, that's not him. Well, Nichols was still carrying. Ah. I assume he drowned as well. I mean, she's busy getting throated by the merman, but drowning. If he disappeared, there's no death, then he must have drowned, because he's ending up in the water. There's nothing more you can do than drown in an open ocean. Though we do not know his name, he was able to shoot guns though. Okay, so I've done a whole lot of cleaning up now. Some identifying some solves. More than a few solves actually. So, the first episode of real progress in this series. And now, again, I'm going to spend some more time just identifying, you know, more people, and maybe go about seeing how I can trigger opening the third chapter. So, if you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed any of it, if you've enjoyed any of my previous stuff, if you just enjoy watching Let's Plays and watching random videos, then consider watching my next random one to show up whenever it does, sometime in the future. Oh, that moon does look nice. Or rather, the sun. So catch me in the next one, guys, and I'll see you then. Ta-ta!